I know I've been absent for a while. Gotta blame it on the holidays and work and everything. But I'm back doing what I'm doing. And I sure do love that blue. Back out here in the nice desert seclusion. I do love the peacefulness out here. Alright, so we, as you can probably tell by the title of the video, got the ranch hand installed. I think it looks good. It's a really nice finish. Happy New Year. Welcome back to Fun with Fords. I am Eric, and I am focusing on the bumper. Well, if it's going to focus. Because we're going to be putting on the ranch hand bumper. Finally going to get around to doing it. And as you can see, there's a winch. I was expecting to install the Warren winch, but if you watched a previous video, they told me it was going to be a year wait to get it, which is absolutely ridiculous. And a lot of the other winch brands I researched them, and all the specs seem to be very similar to the Harbor Freight winch. And this is made in China. All of Warren winches 12,000 pounds and under are made in China, as well as the other brands are also made in China. I called their customer service, asked them where they were made. China. So, I'm wondering how many winch manufacturing factories are in China. So I wonder how much different really mechanically are these winches from one another. I mean, there can't be that many places in China that these are made. And from looking at other tools, I've seen different brands of tools that look oddly similar but have different names on them. And they're both made in China or Taiwan. And I'm thinking, do they just slap a different brand name on it and it's basically the same exact tool? So I like this for several of the following reasons. Okay, it's dust-proof, waterproof, water-resistant to a spray hose, spray stream. It's got the synthetic rope. That's one of the things I wanted. I wanted the Warren winch because it was going to be a synthetic rope. And then this also has a wireless remote. And it's an 80-foot long rope, which was more than adequate for whatever I'm going to do. So we're going to try this out. It's got a 3-year replacement warranty on it. So if anything goes wrong, I just take it off and bring it back to Harbor Freight, and they give me a brand new one. No sending it in for repairs, no nothing. So that to me was another selling point. So we'll try this out and we'll see how well it works. Okay, first things first, we're going to mount the winch to the winch plate, and then mount the winch plate to the bumper, and then remove the factory bumper. And then we'll wire everything up last. Now, here's the instructions that came with the bumper. They're just kind of it was a hodgepodge mess thrown in there. There's nothing that says step 1, step 2, whatever. It's just a kind of a haphazard mess of pages with a few pictures. You know, I do instructions for a living, so I write procedures and stuff like that for things. I'm given something, I write the procedure for it. And these are some of the most pathetically written instructions I've ever seen in my life, in my opinion, for whatever that's worth. Okay, let's go ahead and start removing the bumper. First we have to get up under here and remove the white wiring harness. There we go. So 15 millimeters. Odd sizes. Don't even have a socket for it. That's off. Now to remove the 8 front bolts. And that's tight. See, loosen them up a little bit. Okay, so we got the bumper off. Here's the main connector for the fog light wiring harness. And so now we just got to remove the fog lights, disconnect all these, and over here, and then get them mounted into the bumper. And I found my engine block heater. This was tucked in underneath the bumper. I was actually curious where it was, and so now I know where it is. So I'll mount this somewhere toward the front so that I can easily access it. Okay, let's get this. Let's get these tow hooks off and get the fog lights mounted. Okay, with the wire harness all removed, gotta put the with the wire harness removed, I have to assemble the brackets for the fog lights. So this sits right in here in these two little grooves. And then in order to keep it from flopping around, you have to take out the factory hardware that keeps it in place. There we go. Okay. And then that keeps it steady. And then we'll adjust it up, and we'll adjust it once we got it on and everything in place. Okay, let me get these all mounted up and we'll get the brackets installed on here. Here's all the parts. Okay, I took out all 18mm bolts to release the tow hooks, and then they now slide right in here like so. Okay, now I'm ready to start putting in the grade 8 bolts. This comes with 32 washers, 16 nuts, and 16 bolts. There are two different sizes of bolts here. These ones go mount the tow hook and the bumper plate mounts onto the body, and these mount the bumper to the bumper plate mount on that's attached to the frame. So let's get these installed first, and then we should be ready to put the bumper up. Okay, this is the bumper mount plate. The longer bolts will secure the bumper in here. Here's the new tow hooks attached to the bumper plate, which is attached to the frame. Using the same bolts, the same factory bolts that I took out. Those go back in, but the new bolts go in here. These are the old ones. We're not going to reuse those, although they would fit. They're not grade 8 bolts. They're designed for the light stock bumper. But I did have to move the what I guess is the oil cooler. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I had to move this out of the way. It was kind of a pain to get to these to take the bolts out. But now when I go to put it back into place, I have these little, since I have the new pieces on, these little tabs have to come off. So I either have to bend them down or just grind them off altogether. And I think I'm just going to grind them off, because I don't see myself putting the stock bumper back on. So Okay, so this little one doesn't have to come off. That's good. Okay, so let's do the same thing the other side. Make sure this will fit up there right. And it will. Okay. All right, we'll get the bolts installed for these sides, and we'll be back. All right, there's all the nuts and bolts in on both sides. All done. Now all is left is to attach the bumper. Okay, I'm not showing how I got this bumper up here by myself, because it was, least to say, wildly unsafe, and I don't want to be anyone to promote doing anything unsafe. This thing is 337 pounds of solid steel, and it feels all of it. And I took a long time to try and figure out how I'm going to do that by myself. I should have asked for help. I didn't. So if it's something that you're going to try yourself, that's great. I was able to probably save a lot of money by installing it myself. But get somebody to help you. Definitely. This is not something I'd ever want to try to do alone again. With that said, let's see how it came with a really interesting way to mount the license plate, which, if I haven't mentioned before, finally got my black plates in. So the winch, or not the winch, so the bumper mounts to the plate with 4 bolts, 2 on each side of the mount, and then over here. And then the winch sits right down here, very easily accessible. They really thought that through when they built it. Even if I need to drop the winch down, I can just remove these bolts, these 2 bolts here on each side, and the winch will drop right down for any kind of servicing or what have you. But it's it's a good, clean install. I mean, it fits right. It fits right up. There's no heavy gaps here. I've seen other bumpers where, you know, stuff is uneven and there's a couple inch gaps. But even right up to the fender, it comes right up. It comes right up to the edge. So somebody put a lot of good engineering into it. So I think this is definitely worth the wait. It does stick out a good fair bit. I'll put a couple pictures in there, but I measured it and it sticks out from the start of the grill to the end almost 15 inches. So when I'm driving or parking somewhere, I have to be cognizant of the extra distance forward that I have. But that thing is solid. And it doesn't create a lot of additional side. Not much at all, with the exception of the wraparound brush guard, which this is really nice. Fog lights are in there. I gotta adjust those still. I have to hook up the winch. That'll be my next one. Hooking up the winch should be not too big a deal. And then of course I want to put on a floodlight right here somewhere. So I got to figure out a mounting system for a floodlight that I have. I think it's a 22 or 26 inch light. So that'll be coming soon. But overall, it went on like you would think a 337 pound hunk of steel would handle. Not well. And like I said, I don't want to show how I did it, because I don't want anybody getting any other ideas that was even remotely a safe thing to do, because it wasn't. And I'll admit it, that it was not a good idea on my behalf, but it's on nevertheless, and it's solid. I like it. So if anyone has any questions, let me know. And my stock bumper that I have, that I took off, I'm going to be getting rid of it because I don't foresee myself ever putting it back on. So if anybody wants it, I'm going to give it away for free. The only thing is you have to come get it yourself. So if you want a free stock Super Duty bumper, contact me at my email address, and just put in the subject line bumper or free bumper, whatever you want. I'll figure it out. And yeah, so if you want it, you have to come get it though, and I'm not gonna take pieces of it. If you want one thing off of it, you have to take the whole thing. But it's free. So just let me know. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day.